Woodstock today, Woodstock in May. Hi everybody, how are you going? I'm so excited to talk about Four of Cups today. Four of Cups is one of the cards that is viewed as a bit negative, because if you look at the Four of Cups card, he doesn't look very excited. He looks like he's not interested. This is in the Rider-Waite. So it's like there are things to be excited about. So you have the Three of Cups there, but the Seeker is not really engaging. So it could be that the person is feeling left out or just not interested in what the Three of Cups has to offer. But then you see their hand offering love or offering an opportunity, and it's like Ace of Cups. It's like spiritual awakening, but the person is ignoring that as well. So this is a card that can speak of being emotionally numb. Maybe it speaks of a bit of depression, not feeling it, not feeling interested, lack of interest, being very introverted and reserved. When someone goes into that sort of phase, it can be used for contemplation. But it could be that it's just a lot of apathy, and the Seeker is unable to, for whatever reason, to clear their mind and their thoughts to make room for what life has to offer, as you can see here in Three of Cups and Ace of Cups being offered to the Seeker. And the Ace of Cups that you can see being offered here to the Seeker is often someone that wants the Seeker's attention. Maybe they even need the Seeker's help, but the Seeker is too maybe self-absorbed even to notice the people around them that need them. When Four of Cups is a personality, it can just mean that the person is not interested. It's lack of interest. It's dissatisfaction. They don't really know what they want, so they never get what they want because they don't know what it is. So they're often in conflict with themselves. Maybe they have been disappointed in the past to the point where they're so afraid now of trusting. They always expect the worst as well. The way that they can overcome this is to look at what's being offered to them. So it's like the feather turns into a brick, turns into a truck, turns into a train. Like, this is a feather, this is Ace of Cups being offered, that's a feather, that's someone that wants to wake the Seeker up. If the Seeker ignores it, it will be a stronger sign, then it will become a stronger sign. And then in the end, they can't ignore it. They'll have to deal with their emotions at some point. When the Seeker is experiencing Four of Cups reversed, then all the opportunities, they drain out, because now the cups are upside down, so it drains out. So it becomes then more. It becomes a little bit more dire in the sense that, even though the Seeker weren't even that interested in the opportunities, now those opportunities seem to be gone as well. So that can actually make the Seeker want the opportunities, because now that they're not there, they are thinking that maybe that's what they wanted after all. But this is where the Seeker really needs to wake up now. It's more of a truck, not a feather anymore, because the Seeker could feel now that it's so emotionally empty that it's a real crisis in their life, and they really need to start connecting to themselves so they can start making connections to other people as well. The worst thing they can do is to fall into a pit of despair and start giving into to unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy cravings, unhealthy temptations. When Four of Cups is reversed and it's a person, it's someone who maybe is very hard to connect with. It could be someone who is so terrified of not being good enough that they completely sacrifice themselves for a cause. They're unable to say no. They're unable to live their own lives. They're only living to try and make it convenient for others. There's often unresolved issues in their lives that are very deep. It could be that they have so many feminine influences in their lives that they're overreacting to people. They need to have balance. They also need more of the male energy. They can't only be influenced by females. So they also need to be around the men and be able to be around masculine influences without feeling overwhelmed and frightened. So this is about balance between the male and the female, the yin and the yang. It's completely off when Four of Cups is reversed. And in the personality type, what you get is someone who's off balance and who just follows others without any real ideas what they want for themselves and not able to even say it or live it. They're too afraid of displeasing. When Four of Cups is feelings, it's someone who's impatient, dissatisfied. They don't feel inspired. They're feeling flat and numb. When it speaks of feelings of someone else, it can mean that they can't open up emotionally. They can't connect. Maybe they're just taking the other person for granted. They aren't able to open their heart to the person. It's often due to other issues. So they're just protecting themselves too much, and they're becoming quite insensitive in that. Often there is unresolved chapters, so they haven't closed other chapters. So there are open wounds often that they haven't closed and they haven't had resolution. In a yes and no question, it's more likely a no. In a career reading, it can mean of complacency, work that no longer, or maybe it never really satisfied the seeker. It can be work that the seeker do well, but they don't love it. So they're never gonna excel because they don't love it enough to care enough about it to, for it to grow into anything. But it can also just mean, literally speaking, just a job where you have to sit down a lot because of the symbolism of the person sitting. So in that sense, it can speak of an office job. But they could be in a caring role, but they're so emotionally drained themselves, they're unable to really, they're unable to properly give of themselves in the job. So when Four of Cups speak of career, it's difficult for the seeker to give. In a love reading, Four of Cups speak of not being able to offer love. So maybe they don't appreciate their partner, or if they're single, they don't see someone who is offering them love. And that has to do with the unresolved chapters in their lives. So when Four of Cups shows up, it's often an opportunity then for the seeker to really clear out a lot of emotional, heavy stuff. So let me have a look at Four of Cups in the runes. What the runes are telling me here is that it's giving up before even giving it a go. It's like believing that it's just going to be bad, so there's no point. So being very being defeated before even trying. So it's like giving up before just thinking it's no point. So it's defeat, basically. When people feel defeated, there can be problems health-wise with metabolic issues. So clearing up the feeling of defeat will often heal the body metabolically as well. So with four is a number that's very much a cerebral number. And it can be a bit insensitive because it is a bit shielded emotionally anyway. So with the cups then, when it's meant to give and it's not really able to because it is shielding, it is internalizing. It's so much easier for the person to give up then, because that's how it serves them. It gives them the room to not have it to be out there. It's always a good idea to find out how a belief serves you, because not having to put yourself out there, it's very beneficial to someone who maybe have lived under a lot of criticism and who just don't want any more criticism. Maybe they are their own worst critic. They have that mindset of always criticizing. That then becomes so powerful that it's much easier to just give up before even giving it a go. So it's actually defeat. That's what the runes are saying. It's Four of Cups. It's a defeatist mindset. So that's Four of Cups. Bye. Woodstock today.